Hello friends, welcome back on my YouTube channel. I'm your girl, Olushola. Meanwhile, Happy New Year to you guys. This is my first video in this year 2024. I tried to record this video right from the beginning of the month and I'm like, oh god. I kept thinking about it and it kept coming back to me. Every time I'm thinking about a different video, this topic keeps coming back to me, you know. Um, and then I'm like, I should get it done. I should just do it. So I tried to pen down my thoughts on this topic, mental damage in adults. Um, Now, I would say this. We've had a lot of people talk on this topic. We've had a lot of people preach this topic. We've had a lot of people share their experiences. But I would be talking briefly on this topic. I hope it's briefly. I hope I'll try to keep it brief. But and I'll also give us a solution. Okay? Mental damage in adults, stroke effect on kids. So because come to think of it, the world today at large, I tell people there are so many people who are mentally damaged. Like a lot of people are mentally damaged. Even up to like grown-up adults who are also like almost to the age of like end of life. You could still see that in them. It's just like a sickening world. It's a sick place for everyone to be. So today I will be dealing with this matter. Mental damage. You know, I think about it a lot and I said to myself, I said, how I wish we all can just take a deep breath and think. Yeah, take a deep breath and think. So let's do some brainstorming together this morning. So I said some major causes of mental damage in adults always stems from childhood trauma. Childhood trauma. Many adults are traumatized as kids. And also, I have life challenges, which could be from death of a loved one, poverty, addiction, but majorly I'll be looking into childhood trauma because childhood trauma is something that we oftentimes neglect. We don't pay attention to how we treat our kids and things we say to them, things we do to them, and how these things come back to haunt them and affect them. And when they grow up, they become damaged adults. Many a times people come out to say, oh, you're mentally damaged. Meanwhile, the person talking is mentally damaged. So let's talk about this. I said, many of us as kids were mentally bruised. We believe that life is built with pains and ended up with another damaged child. So it becomes a cycle. And ended up with another damaged child who also believe you can't live in isolation of pains. So it's like a child who is damaged now getting involved with another child who is damaged. So they both believe that no one can live in isolation of pain. So it becomes a cycle. So they keep repeating the patterns. And then you ask yourself, can't he see that I'm hurting? And how come he doesn't know that he's hurting me? Like, really? And the other person too will say, doesn't she know that she's hurting me? Can't she see that she's hurting me? You know, and it becomes a pattern. The otter is accusing the otter. The otter is accusing the otter. Like, it's just like that. And everybody keeps hurting each other. And no one is helping one another. It becomes a life. We grew up with it. We live with it. And it becomes norm. So that's how it is. And then the same way you're thinking is the same way he's thinking. So every pain we inflict on kids leaves a print of trauma. For every pain you inflict on a child, it leaves a print of trauma because you're confusing them. They tend to start asking questions. If dad loves me, why would he do that? If mom loves me, why would he do that? So now this takes me to a point where if you think you do something wrong to a child, it is okay for you to go to that child and say, hey, I'm sorry for what I did. You understand? When you apologize to a child, you're teaching them to know that hurt is not part of life, to know that her doing something wrong to a younger child, it's not part of life. It's not, you don't live with that. It's not how adults should behave. Because we normalize this and it becomes a life, and many people are so stuck in that world. You know it. So you want to tell that child you're sorry. Please take note of this. It's very important, because every pain, like I said, you inflict on them, it leaves a print of trauma. They will keep living with it, believing that's how it should be, and they will do it to other people. Now, I've had someone told me you must forget your past. Then I asked, what if the past keep repeating itself? What if I keep living in the reality of my past with someone else? So you're telling me to forget my past life, right? And now I'm involved with someone who is constantly reminding me of my past. And the past is now looking like it's happening. The past is right here on my face. Do you get it? So that was the question I asked this person. I said, what if I'm living in this reality, you're hurting, and someone else is coming to get involved with you, and the person is repeating the patterns of your pains, the things you've been through before, they're bringing it up again and doing it to you, like, and they're telling you, hey, I'm here to help you, I'm here to do better, I'm here to be the best. And here they are repeating the pattern, repeating the same thing that hurt you, the same thing that bruised you. They're doing it to you again, leaving you more damaged than you were before. So this is what we're looking into today. So I had to pen down my thoughts, because if I'm before the camera, camera distracts my mind. So I had to keep going back to my notes. So I said, are you what if I keep living in the reality of my past with someone else? Like, I asked the person, are you in that book? Like, asking yourself now, do you find yourself in this part of life where your past keeps coming back, it keeps repeating itself? This will make you to have long list of things you want to see in a man or a woman. Repetition of the past now, you're dealing with it. You don't want hurt, you don't want pain. You've had enough as a child, you've had enough as an adult. You're like, no, I don't want this again, I don't want that again, blah, 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 blah. And then you have a long list of things you don't want to see in a man or a woman, and you're careful who to be with. This would eventually lead you to another damaged adult. Because the moment you come across those people, you're like, pouring it all out, pouring it all out. And they're listening. So this is, I'm laughing because it's not a book. This is from a wealth of experience, you know. I'm not reading a book to us. I'm sharing from like life experiences. They listen to your pain. This is another damaged adult now you're dealing with. They listen to your pain. They're like, oh wow, they sympathize with you. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm different, you know. These people are just, they call them names. They call this the ones who hurt you. Maybe even it's your parents. They call them names. They call them anything. And then you feel comfortable with this person. You feel like, oh, now I have peace. I can now rest. I can now be fine. And all of a sudden, there comes the damaged man repeating the same. You'll be like, but I told this person this is my problem. I told this person this is what he did to me. I told this person this, that. I told this person that. And then you go like, and he's doing it again to me. And here comes the rage. You start getting angry. You start getting furious. You start acting out. And when you start acting out, you get blamed. You get it? You get blamed. And because of that, you're accused for being the person, the bad person. You're accused for being the one who has a problem. Because they now have your history, they bring it to your face like, wow, you're damaged as a child. Oh, you have a problem with people. Hey, you've always had issues with men. Oh, you've always had issues with women. You're not even good enough to be with me. I am better than you. I have been tolerating your God. And you go like, whoa! Now you're more damaged. Like, yeah, call it If there's a word for temp, triple, 4 times, 5, 10 times, 100 times damaged. So you give yourself to the abuser, and they continue the pattern of abuse, and you constantly get hurt. Now, I'm trying to laugh a lot because I don't want to get emotional. I said to myself, you're not going to get emotional in this video. I've been trying to run away from it. But I think that many people, even if it's 5 of 10, that this video will touch, and they'll be able to touch light again and live again. I will be so happy and I'll feel fulfilled. Okay? So let's stay tuned. Let's stay tuned. I didn't put space on my notes, so it's a bit clumsy. Yeah. So many aren't raised with love growing, so they have a very wrong understanding of what love is. Many children, I would say, let me say 50%, so they don't come for me. Yeah, I'll tell you the level of damaged adults out there. I would say 80% of kids aren't raised with love. 80% of kids aren't raised with love. Yeah. And they have wrong understanding of what love is. You know, we get yelled at, beaten for spilling water, insulted and cursed for having a fall. Like you had a fall now, you will be insulted and yelled at for having a fall, and you're ignored for treatment, and they will make you feel it's your punishment. Like, how can I have a fall and I need to be treated? And someone is telling me, well, that's your punishment, you deal with your pain. Stupid child. You're like, whoa. And then you have to live with that as a child. I've seen kids put sand on a wound to make it go away because they don't want their parents to know they've been injured. Now that's trauma, and that could make the injury infected, but then it often get healed in life, the rough life we grew up with. And I said, you get punished basically for everything. I get punished basically for everything. And you're like, hey, where's the safe space? Life was so harsh. And a lot of kids grew up like that, in that harshness. Even if you're rich and you have kids, you ignore them. You don't show them enough love. You feel, well, if they have everything, they have a good phone, they have this, they have that, that's love. That's not love. It is our responsibility to provide the basic need for our kids. But showing them how to love, to be loved, and to love, it's another life. And I can't blame parents who can't, because they themselves are not shown love as kids. Do you understand now? So it took me years to observe this. When I look at them, I say, I can't blame them. They don't have love either. They don't. So how do you give what you don't have? Quite difficult. Everybody's just living carelessly, doing what they like. And everybody keep growing up, being damaged, deformed character, deformed personalities. And here we are to deal with all these things that we inflict on ourselves. So I said, you're reminded how miserable your life would be if you don't go to school, even though you're sick. This is one of the examples. They tell you, oh, Mom, I'm sick. I don't think I can go to school today. Well, your life is going to become miserable. You won't make it in life. That's the response you get, even if you say you don't want to go to school, you're sick. You know? I remember when I was sick. I've been sick as a child for a very long time, and I couldn't say it at home because I had fears that I would be beaten for being sick. Even if I say I have a headache, get out from here. What headache? Lazy girl, you don't want to do anything, you just want to hide under. Headaches. How terrible. And I became so sick that I had to pass out in school. In fact, I was going into school and I slumped, and they rushed me to the hospital. I didn't leave hospital for like 2 months. I was admitted in the hospital. And you know the funniest part, the way people were bringing food, even my father's family that I didn't know, they all were coming because they thought I was going to die. So people were coming with food, fruits. I said, I don't want to leave hospital. I don't want to leave hospital. Guess what? I was only 11 or 12. I don't want to leave hospital. I just want to be here. It seems the life in the hospital is so cozy. Everybody now cares about you. People are coming in turns to stay at the hospital by your bedside. Oh my God. Oh. Oh. I remember crying, leaving the hospital. Hey, I kept looking back and I go back into the hospital. I don't want to go back home. So, these are the trauma. You understand? So I'm really trying to bring it home so we can really understand how these things are and how they are. Because most of these things we neglect, we ignore. We think they are okay, but they are not okay. They are leaving our children damaged. Damaged. Somebody's peeping at me like, what's going on? Let's go again. So I said, so the little care you see someone else gives drives you crazy, and you begin to feel they love you. Now let's pay attention to this. Meanwhile, the person don't even know what love is. Now, oh shit, stop! Don't get it distracted here. This part it's very important. It's very, very important. Like I said before, you meet someone, they show you so much love and care, but because this seems like a valuable gift, it seems like something you lack. You've not been cared for, you've not been loved, you've not been tenderly spoken to. All your life is yelling. You can't even imagine an adult talking like, hey, how are you doing? You're like, Uncle, speak loud now. Because you believe the proper way of talking is and that's what it is out there. People just I said that they pour their anger, their frustration on kids. Damaged adults who transfer every aggression in their life on innocent children. So now, and when they come around you, they show you just little love, little care. You term it as love. Meanwhile, it's a strategy to trap you again. It's a strategy to keep you in bondage. It's a strategy to put you through that trauma over and over and over and over again. And you, because, I won't go ahead of myself. Now, I know this applies to many people out there. When patterns begin to repeat itself and you're fine with it, you're damaged too. Get to know this. You see these patterns happening again. These things that has traumatized you, that has broken you, that has put you to tears. And somebody else who comes to you like, hey, I love you. Oh, I care about you. Oh, I'll do everything for you. And now these people are now doing the same thing someone else has done to you and treated you like trash. They are doing it again to you and you are fine with it. You are damaged. You need to understand that. And now, when they do it to you again, you take it in, it becomes a life. You're stuck forever. You don't have a choice. You feel like, well, nobody's going to love me. Even growing up, everybody don't like me. People treat me unkindly. So I think it's just the way I am. I think it's just the way I'm built. I think that's how life has designed it for me. You guys have to go to school. Why are you looking at me? Go to school. Please let her go. They're enjoying the topic. Yeah, I'll make them watch it after I'm done with the video. So, so when it begins to repeat itself, please know it that you're damaged if you're not like flagging it out now. So many relationships has led to untimely deaths of spouses because their partners are constantly abusing them as they are damaged, and this results in illness from stress. This part is very sensitive. Many people would argue it, but I'll tell you this: read more on stressors, and how to avoid stress. Most of the times, a lot of people are stressed out, highly stressed out, male, female. They are undergoing a lot of stress, and most times their spouses are their stressors. People learn to live with these things. They just take it in, and while they are they are do you know many people have very high blood pressure, and they don't even check, they don't do medical checkup, they don't know, they're not following, they don't follow up on their health, and they believe they are fine. These things accumulate, and it kills quite fast, quite fast. And I'll use mine for instance as an example. For many years, I have very bad chest pain, and when I hear someone start shouting and yelling, and I said, my heart started beep, beep, beep. I got numbed at a time that ambulance had to take me to the hospital. On getting there, they couldn't find nothing, and I could not move my body. And that's the second time I will be having that crisis. A time will come, I will just numb and I will die. And this thing comes from when you're so scared, when the first is coming, and the other person don't care about how you feel. Abusers, damaged adults, they don't care how you feel. They don't care. They don't understand what your pains are. No matter how much you communicate it, they don't care. They do not understand. You have to take care of yourself. I've had someone told me that stress is his companion. Like, I forgot the way. I try to forget many things. And I'm like, oh wow, stress is your whole companion. Please don't come and stress me out. Do you understand? So I really want you to understand this. It has affected a lot of marriages. It has bruised a lot of lives. And that's why we're talking about it. So okay, now this is a story about when I came to Canada. I said when I arrived in Canada and I did mental health course, I said to myself, girl, you've been abused. And you're still being abused. Yeah, I realized when I took the course, I cried. I'm like, oh, I said to myself, you're damaged. And you're locked in. You can't run away from it, because now it's part of your life. The abuser is part of your life. Because they are damaged adults too. They can't help you. You can't help yourself. So you suddenly become a target for every narcissist to manipulate you, both male and female. You're suddenly a target, because they could see this some damaged adults actually are quite evil. They don't care what they did to you. They don't care. They just want to hurt. They are happy actually hurting you. I've seen someone tell me, why are you laughing? Why are you so happy? She not be happy again. It's my happiness, for crying out loud. So when you're happy, they are sad. They want to see you sad. They don't want to see you happy. They just want to they enjoy, they thrive in inflicting pain on you. And these are the things I have seen. Even with people that you call friends. Even if the guy is asking you out, watch out for them. It could take years. Please take your time. You're not rushing to nowhere. Many men, many women are damaged. The moment you're happy, they are sad. And when you are sad, they are fine. That's when they are happy. You just see them. You're like, I'm sad. I'm not even happy. You should come here and just try to help me. And that's when they are happy. That's when they are energized. That's when you see them like, oh, they've achieved something that it's like they even want, I call them murderers. They want to see you dead. And they are fulfilled. I say, one down, another one is down. Another one will go again. That's what they do. That's who they are. And you have to take care of yourself. If you can come to the reality of this conversation that we're having this morning, and you could see yourself in this, kindly go for help. And I'll tell us how the Lord helped me to manage this. Not to even manage, to be healed from this. I feel pain in my heart when I see these damaged adults, when I meet them. They come in different forms and shades and colors, and they are oh Lord, they are in different personality. And you have to take your time to know them. And for people that just want to survive, you damaged, and you're just hungry for that one thing that you think you need, you never have, love. That one thing you think you're hungry for, they come like they have it to give you. And because you feel they have it to give you, you pour out all yourself on them. Some are abused financially, sexually, mental, emotional is actually the least for them, and which is the worst. Emotional abuse, financial abuse, yes, it's big deal, especially for those who don't have, and they have to keep giving. And take notes, these guys don't give. They give what they will not regret giving. Take notes. They are not sacrificial givers. They only give what they feel like, well, I can just give her this, I won't even know I give her nothing. And here you are, all over them, appreciating them, giving your all, giving all your best, giving everything you think. Oh, I pray for you that the Lord will deliver you from every bondage of mental damage. And they would see that innocence, the purity. And because of the effect of being damaged on them too, they keep eating you hard. And to you, you feel like, well, maybe they don't just know how to love me. Maybe I have to let them know how to love me. Maybe I have to, and oh, maybe it's my fault. Maybe it's me. I think I'm the problem. I think it's just you. Please stop blaming yourself. Someone said something to me 2020. The lady looked at me. She's a police officer. And she looked at me. She said, even if you are the worst person on the street, you don't deserve to be treated this way. And I had tears dropping. She said, you don't deserve to be treated this way. Nobody deserves to be treated this way. You need to come to understand that there are ways people treat you that you don't deserve to be treated that way. We all deserve to be treated with respect, with love and compassion. Okay, so my heart goes out to everyone out there who is going through this. I always wish I could save the world, but I can't save the world. I can only try to impact my environment as much as it is before I die. I pray this love will go out one day and impact as many as I would that will be impacted. So I said, these narcissists keep you in their nets. Now, please take note of this. They do one favor and begin to treat you like you're nothing important to them. And you have to worship them because they have helped you. So, you are coming to them vulnerable. You've poured out all your pains to them. Now, they helped you. Some might even helped you financially, maybe help you through school, and they start to treat you wrongly. And when you say anything, you go like, after all I have done to you. And you go like, does that justify the wrong you are doing to me? You are an ingrate. You don't understand. You don't do this. You don't do that. You don't blah, blah. And then you shut up. Like they literally shut you up. They keep you in that net of ungratefulness, of a bitter person, of a damaged person that you say you were. You told them your pain, and now this other person is now doing so much on you, like hurting you so much, and you find yourself just locked in. You can't get out. Now, They don't believe in anything you can become. They don't believe in your dreams. They don't believe in your ambitions. They feel whatever you want to become has to be through them. Whatever you want to become, it has to be something they orchestrate. You cannot be independent of yourself. They would cripple you and cripple all that you think you want to be. These are mentally damaged adults, constantly damaging others and hurting others, exercising superiority. Remember, it could be male or female. It's not just one gender. It's both genders. You see yourself helpless, hopeless, and you continue to tolerate all the pain, abuses, insolence being inflicted on you. And then you become more damaged than you were at a younger age. This is what happened to you. I'll read it again. You see yourself helpless, hopeless, and you continue to tolerate all the pain, abuses, insolence being inflicted on you. Then you become more damaged than you were at a younger age. Now, this is the problem. I keep saying it. As this message is coming, I'm just remembering a lot of incidences with myself, with other people I've been privileged to talk to, different people. They are helpless, they are hopeless. Because the question is, where do I go to? They remember where they are coming from and how much pain had been inflicted on them. And here they are again. They just want to be there. They don't want to go. They feel like, where else do I go? I'm stuck here with all the pains. There's a movie I saw, Acrimony, recently, and I tried to think about that pain. I said, does anyone see that the man is a damaged young adult? He's been in jail. He's had his own life ash on him. And this girl come like the rich daughter, rich girl into his life, beating him. Even from the beginning, she had the pleasure to banter him. And he chased her because he was attracted by beauty. Are you like that? You know, you see someone exercise some wrong behaviors, but because you grew up seeing these things, you see them as normal. They are not normal. Please run. They are not. Don't normalize them. They are not. And it went on into this lady. She was spending her because she felt she was in love with him. I would say she's in love with him. But now let's take note of what love is. Pouring her on the guy, spending her, because he had a dream, he had an ambition. He poured it to her. He let her know, this is my dream. She never believed in that dream, but she was hoping that dream brings out something. And from the beginning, he promised her. He made a lot of promises. Oh, and she's like, whoa, she's actually a rich daughter. And she feels like life is going to become more beautiful. And there she is, struggling through life. And she couldn't endure the guy. She even said, our love vanishes over time. Even when the guy was happy that his dreams are coming to pass, she was not happy for him. She was very bitter, angry, calling him names. He had to go present his project. She was bitter. Like, I understand. It's all because, and he says terrible things to him. Now, I want you to understand the place of that guy. That guy is a typical example of a damaged adult who is just trying to see how he can make life meaningful for himself. Trying to endure someone who thinks she's better than him in every way. And he is the miserable person who has nothing to give her. And meanwhile, the guy has everything to give. Because now, this is what these people do to you. Now, let me explain this so I don't want to miss this point. No matter how much you love them, no matter how much you give, but because they have a defined definition of love in their head, for that girl is money. Her whole definition of love is money. She believes the guy should come with, he should be rich, like all the plans, live in the high rise, and that's what we make her like keep booming in the love. But this guy never left her, even though she lost her womb. That is love and commitment. He cheated on her when they were dating, but in marriage he was faithful. stayed with her, stayed true to the marriage. Now, let's think about it. In the world where men are, they've become anything. There's not even sign if they are Christian or non-Christian. But that man was everything that I think every woman will need. You beating up a man and he still come back and tell you, babe, I love you. Like who does that? That's a hopeless man right there. That's a man who thinks she's all that he got. I mean, she's all that he got. And he can't find another better than her. The man loves her, but she threw love away because she had another definition. And everything the guy was doing was not recognized by her, even to the little. Now, I've seen this and I asked, what exactly do they want? Because when you're doing all, it's like you're doing nothing. And one thing they expect you to do and you don't do it is what they will kill you for. They will smoke you for. This is a very serious topic. I want you all to take a deep breath as we continue on this topic. I said you now become more damaged than you were at a younger age. Now, there comes the freedom, the solution. Are you happy to hear it? Freedom, say freedom, freedom. I said I gained my freedom from these horrible circles when I finally gave my life to Jesus Christ. You wonder, well, we have a lot of Christians. Well, a lot of Christians are damaged. A lot of pastors are damaged. A lot of people are damaged. But Bible says that they that know their God, they will do exploits. And I'll take you through that process. Because I came prepared, like, I just hope they can see the light and the life in Jesus that transforms everyone, that changes every man, that breaks away every brokenness. The man Jesus, he can do it. He has done it. And he will yet do it again over and over and over and over again. He will always do it. Now, I said Jesus is a life giver, hope giver, and an answer of grace. One of the first questions I asked him when I gave my life to him was, how can I love? Because I've always blamed myself for not being able to know how. Because I've been accused like, oh, you don't even know how to do this. You don't even know how to do that. You don't. And to me, I'm doing all. I'm giving all. And then I'm like, God, how can I love? Teach me how to love. I said, I often blame myself for the pain others inflict on me. They inflict pain on me, and I blame myself for that. I stopped doing that. But let me go ahead of myself. Because it made me think and believe I am the problem. That's what they make me do. Damaged adults. Damaging the damaged. Damaged adults, damaging the damaged. And damaging, everything becomes a circle. Oh Lord, it's so heartbreaking. I said, the abuser in the families too, they do the same. They do the same where you're coming from. They blame you for their own, and angry adults pouring all hate on you as a child, blame you for their own behavior. And then you see yourself being blamed for everything people do that is wrong. And then everything ends with the Lord. It ends with the Lord. When you don't go to Jesus because you're poor, or because you need him to heal you, or because you need him to help you, you need him to do something, just come to him. Like, Lord, I need you to give me you. Do you understand? I need Jesus to give me Jesus. I need you to make me you. You want to know love. You want to live love. You want to give love. And that's where I realized I asked the best question. I seek for the right thing that they made me run for. Jesus Christ was so intentional about me. He was. I cried and prayed severally, asking God to teach me how to love so I can love properly. I put it there, I said, what a poor child. Then I began to read the Bible in the light of me learning about what the love of Jesus Christ entails. So when I read the Bible, I'm asking, how can I love? Lord, teach me how to love. So every line of the Bible, I'm learning how to love. I'm learning how to be that child that people will see and see love. Now, pay attention now. I was focused on myself and was intentional to love. Now, and then I realized that the more I start to live according to the word of God, the more these abusers are strengthened to hurt me the more. The more they are strengthened, the more they are empowered to hurt me the more. Because it's like someone who is yelling at you, who is screaming at you. Sometimes you yell back, or you're like, oh, just leave me alone, or you walk away, or you just go away, and then all of a sudden they don't see you do that, and all they see you is that you just like, oh, I'm so sorry for doing that, I'm so sorry you feel this way, I hope to be better. Or you start praying in your mind, God, teach me how to love, teach me how to do this. And instead of them to see a hungry person, they see someone who is calm, relaxed, and not crying, but happy. And they become more angry, more irritated, and more vengeful. That's my story. And that's the story of every abuse victims out there and damaged ones. Now what? That's the question. They are now becoming more harder. Someone told me I'm very hard on her, and I will be harder on her. Hey, I said, even the hard is killing me. Now you want to triple the hard. Why? Now what? I said, I began to read the Bible again in two lights now. Don't forget, the first time was in one, just for myself. Now I begin to see it in another, myself and other people's view. And then I realized that these people too are damaged, and they also need to learn love. Do you understand? So this now strengthens me to be intentional to show Christ's love, even if it hurts. But as long as it points them to the right way of loving. Now, even if they don't reciprocate it, but it helps me to understand that they are also damaged. They need help, but they cannot communicate themselves in the right way. They just want to keep hurting someone else. So for me now, I don't get angry because they are now being hateful or being aggressive. I only now pray for them to be able to come to that place of loving by showing them the love I now found, the life I now have in Jesus. So this is what is now pointing me. I believe we point them to the true way and true ways of loving and living. I beg to say that it is not an easy route to pass through. It is not a place I would actually want us to find ourselves. But unfortunately, that's where we all find ourselves. That's where at some point we found ourselves. This topic is really broad in my mind. It's broad on my mind now. Let me not go ahead of myself. I made it a point of duty to teach love, live love, and embrace nothing but love, because Christ is love himself. I teach my kids to love and I also encourage them to spread love. Now, this is how I was delivered. It takes years of deep fellowship with Christ Jesus to break away from that bondage. Now you can't hate someone that is broken or damaged. Please take notes. When you meet someone who is damaged or broken, you can't hate them. They are in a lost world. They don't understand. They don't even know what they are doing. They will keep. If you're raised with love, Please, you cannot marry a damaged fellow. Take notes. If you know what love is, you understand that you have to embrace people with love and communicate love to people. You are a child of God. You understand the principles of the kingdom of God. You cannot marry a damaged person. You cannot help them. Let me scream it loud. Hey, they will come to you with a lot of guilt, with a lot of, I am not this, I am not that, I am blah. Hey girl, hey boy, run. If you have to help them, show them the way to the cross. Get them into therapy. Empower and strengthen them. Now, I would say that by the time they are completely healed, if peradventure they found Christ and they begin to walk in love, they would realize that they wouldn't have chose you for a partner. In fact, they would understand that, well, they just want somewhere to hide all their miseries, all their pains. They're just looking for a hideout. Do you understand? And men, if you are clean, if the Lord, they said the word I speak to you, they made you clean, they made you whole. Do you understand? So when you've been washed by that word, when the word has transformed your life, and now you can see clearly, you understand, you know what love is, you know how to embrace love, you know how to be made, you know it. And I won't lie to you, when these people comes your way, even with all you think you have a past and you have a life that is so ugly before, you share it with them. In their mind, they still believe you're damaged. And they would come to repeat the patterns. But because you're now in the light, you can see clearly. You can pull yourself off. You can differentiate yourself. You can fight for your own purity. Don't you ever entangle yourself with such friendship or relationship. Get them into freedom. Show them the way to the cross. Take them for therapy. Like I said, when I got to Canada in school, when I did the mental health course, I realized. So they need knowledge. They need to know. Give them materials they will read. If they are true to themselves, they will acknowledge themselves. And then at that point, they are open for healing. They must pass through that process of healing. And it takes time. It's like a mental cycle. When they see somebody has is mentally deranged. Oh, how I feel good. Oh, this therapy is super nice. I think I'm okay now. Oh, we can get married. I'm feeling good now. 2 weeks after, everybody has relapsed. Believe it. They come back again like wolves to devour. Nah. And this is it. When they are healed, it becomes a life. You would know. You would see the passion to even help other people get well. And constantly you can support each other. But let God lead you before you say yes to such people. Let God be your light. Let him be your lamp to direct your path. You don't want to be entangled again. Please, never you try it. Because the worst pain anyone could have is when you're clean and you have to be locked in with someone that is mentally deranged, damaged, and who is not seeking for help, or who doesn't want to be helped, or who enjoy to inflict pain on others, or who derives pleasure in doing these things and without feeling like nothing will happen to him. Please take notes. It's very important. I said it takes years of deep fellowship with Christ Jesus to break away from that bondage. Now you can't hate someone that is broken or damaged. If you've been raised with love, please, you can't marry a damaged fellow until they are healed, because you will be damaged too. They will leave a print of trauma in your life and you end up being damaged again. They only understand one language, and that's hurts someone else. That's to hurt someone else. That's the only language mentally damaged adults or whoever they have understand, to hurt others. Yeah. Even though some of them don't want to, but they will. Some of them don't want to hurt, but they will hurt. Because that's the language they speak, to hurt. So reasons we have lots of broken marriages today It's because many are mentally damaged and they are not seeking for help. Many are mentally damaged and they are not seeking for help. So when they are hurt, they hurt others. When they are broken, they break others. When they are damaged, they damage others. So seek help for yourself. Christ is always here to help everyone, but don't be wrapped in their nets. Don't let anyone continue to inflict pain and injury on you. And I pray for someone there out there that for that pain, grief, hopelessness, helplessness, I ask that you you have an encounter that will change your story. That the Lord will encounter you. The Lord will visit you. He will strengthen you. He will teach you. He will guide you on how to live and how to love and how to be free from this bondage of childhood trauma or whatever trauma it is that you have that has blinded your mind to see the true life and love of Christ Jesus. And I pray that the Lord himself will heal every brokenhearted and strengthen you and help you to have a clear vision and a clear sight into the better days ahead in the name of Jesus. Lord, I thank you for this message and I commit it in your able hands. That this message will be a life changer to those that need help. That the word therein will become alive in the life of those that hear it, and they will seek you where they can find you. And as they come forward to you, O Lord, accept them and grant them mercy and hope again. Thank you, righteous Father. In Jesus' name I pray. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Please like, share, subscribe.